The Karmic Woof!
Welcome to Karmic Woof. We're here again. You're here with us, and we're having a great Monday.
Woohoo! Habit
Aren't we?
chat.
Have a chat. Who's ready for some habits?
Who's ready for some habits?
No one, no one. This is the part everyone leaves.
So, so I was getting ready this morning, and I thought about this. When I put on lipstick, I'm like, or lip balm, something, anything on my lips, I'm like putting myself in a different view. So I can do whatever task is in front of me. Okay. Do guys have that?
Well, some do. Most don't. From my perspective. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to think of not obviously not lipstick, but like maybe cologne or aftershave or some, like maybe they have to do their hair in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, is that a thing?
For some people, yes, because I've heard guys talk about that, and they do that a lot when they're dating. They'll do that. It's like a good luck thing or something. It's like, well, when I go out, I have to wear this aftershave because it gives me the most success. And see, I do it with music. Like if I need to do something, I listen to a specific song, and it gets me into that zone. If that, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like,
you're not talking about a zone,
I do that. Yeah, like I do that with music too. But I mean, like something that I can take with me. You know what I mean? I can reapply the lipstick.
Like a talisman. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
okay.
I knew a guy that used to spray cologne on his shirt so that he could like make sure to smell it before he went into his meeting, like whatever big meeting he had. And it would just like his senses were all clear. He felt much better, more confident. Like some women have a pair of shoes. You know, I mean, men might have a pair of shoes that they wear, or
they have lucky socks or, whatever. Yeah, they carry with them.
Yeah. Like hockey players won't.
Men do it all the time with sports.
Yes. Hockey players will, like, if they had a certain haircut when they won some game, then they have to have that, like, or whatever they did that day, they have to repeat for the whole season.
Yeah, exactly. And then they don't wash it, or I'm not going to wash this thing because it would take the the voodoo off or whatever it is, Huju or Mojo or
right.
Yeah. So I'm going to go around stinking because so guys do it. They just do it usually in a sports more than in a dating capacity. I don't really do it at all. I'm trying to think if I do or not. I'm not aware. If I am, I'm not aware. I probably do, but I don't. I can't think of anything. So I'm not aware of it.
Okay. All right. There are so many heads that you can put on, and so many, somebody asked me if I would put on Marilyn Monroe's head, and I'm like, probably not.
But why would you?
Well, because she was a sex symbol. So if you wanted to inhabit that kind of sex appeal or confidence, like she was confident.
Oh no, yeah,
she was in front of the camera.
Right.
She was not confident without that. She thought that people felt like she was stupid. Yeah. So she did struggle with that, but she wasn't. She was pretty smart. But she also had an issue with drugs, and I have enough issues with addled brains. I don't need help. So
drugs,
I don't. I would like to not partake in that things.
Like last night. Oh, it was not last night. It was yesterday. I went out and I found went to my usual store and they had oregano, and I'm like, I don't have that in my garden. And thyme. I found that and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get these. So I got them and then I put them in the car. I went out and then I noticed that as I'm going out and getting these out of my car, there were, I counted four neighbors around me, all outside smoking pot at the same time, not talking to each other. They're all in their own homes, out in their porch. One's talking on the phone, one's just hanging out. They're all just smoking. I'm like, am I the only one here in this circle that doesn't smoke pot? I didn't know it
Totally.
was that prevalent. And it occurred to me that all of these people need this coping mechanism in order to do whatever it is they're doing in their world because their
Yeah.
stories are so horrible that they have to have this in order to make their story, whatever story they're living in, bearable for the
Okay,
moment.
but hang on. So I've thought about this for a long time. Maybe it's not so horrible. Maybe it's just boring.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe they
Because,
can't, like you and I can switch perspectives.
yeah,
Maybe they can't. Maybe they have
maybe
to
so.
have something like that to help. Like
Interesting.
that
Okay.
was that was
Right.
a key part of why I smoked. It forced me to go outside.
Right. And
So
they're all
when
outside. Yeah. Right.
yeah. So when I look at these people, because there are people driving down the street that you can smell it.
Oh, yeah. That's how I
Hey,
noticed. I could smell it. Right.
right, like thanks for driving inebriated. I appreciate it. Not,
Right.
but they they're in such a habit. They're in such a rut that they can't switch perspectives without it.
It's interesting. Okay. So maybe that's it. They're just bored. And I can see why, like the people around me, I can see why they're bored because they live the same day over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's got,
Yes.
I've done that. That's boring.
And
And
if
that
these
boring,
people are
yeah,
here during Peno, they have a
yeah,
role, and
right.
it's probably, something with a sword and hopefully a shield.
Well,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
they're,
saying?
yeah,
But they don't see that kind of uh, space for themselves. They don't see how they could possibly do that. I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't
right,
do that. That's, you know, I mean, there's like a teeny tiny part of me that wants to rail against the system, rage against the machine. But,
right,
that's so small, but it wouldn't be. If they
right,
were able to think clearly, it wouldn't be.
right.
But it's ingrained in them now to not think clearly.
It is, yeah, because they're not. They're just living the same day and making bad decisions. Uh, and I've been looking at that because I've been learning game theory, uh, which is it's a strategy that is used, and I'm using that for my business to see basically you what you're doing is you're looking at behavioral models of people in the world and certain groups. So you're looking at certain strategies, where they are, where they're going, where they could go or not go based on the decisions of multiple people in the game. And it gives you a clear look as to outcomes based on the decisions that people make within the Nash equilibrium, which is like the world and what everyone else is doing. So it's an interesting thing because it gives you a clear picture of where you likely people are within the current system to change based on what everyone else is doing. So and how they value the future versus the now, the present or the past, and all the motivators that go in between. It's an interesting thing, but as I'm explaining this, I forgot why I was even mentioning it. But no, I was doing it, and it highlighted to me certain things that in industries. I'm talking about entire industries. So my thing is I'm creating new strategies for. They're not new strategies. They're just different strategies than what are being used in the current music industry. What is the
Yes.
likely based on the decisions of the people who are already in the current system and what motivates them or not, and how they are likely to move towards the future or stay where they are doing the instant gratification thing, how likely my strategies are going to work in there, and they're not. So so you just take a logical thing and you say, well, it's not going to work because the Nash equilibrium says this, and people are not going to move this strategy. They're not going to change strategies when everyone else is not changing strategies, unless you do X, Y, Z. So now I have to look at X, Y, Z in order to change the system, and I didn't know that before. So I'm learning this, but I'm learning that in the music industry in particular, see, I thought, and I'm always looking at words. So I'm always looking at music because I hear indie people and they're always talking about authenticity. My music's authentic. I don't like labels. I like authenticity, free expression in music, and all this other stuff. So they're out there spouting all this word authentic. I'm authentic. My music's authentic. Label people are not, and they're not, and I hate them, and I'm not going to go with the label, but I'm authentic. So they're using the word. And I thought, oh, okay. The definition of the word is this. So this is what they are. So I go, well, how can I make you authentic based on, yeah. So I built a system based on you and how to make you authentic better than what you think you are. So we could tell you who you are based and then build up from there. It turns out the entire system is not built on authenticity. That's just a trendy word. They've changed the meaning of authentic to performed authenticity, which is not true authenticity. The
No.
music industry itself is based, the entire strategic system is based on imitation of successful models. So what they do is they imitate other people who are successful and do what they do. And I'm like, well, that's exactly what labels do. But these people hate labels, but they're doing the exact same thing. Isn't that a hypocrite? But they don't know they're doing the same thing. So they're not really hypocrites, but that's the strategy they're using because that's what they think is actually working, when in fact, the entire system is designed for that reason to dump them off on a certain plateau, which is, I'm going to call it the mid-tier plateau. You're never going to get out of the mid-tier plateau. But the entire industry runs on this because all of the people going funneled into the mid-tier plateau are going to do all the work for the Grammys and all the music awards and all the. They do all the work, they do all the promotion, they do all of the things for free, and all the people at the top get to thrive, and they're not mid-tier, but the system, they get to go outside the system and they have their own little system and they sit on top, and everyone else is doing all the work for free trying to get ahead, but the system is never designed to do it. But the entire strategy of the system is copying what someone else who made it is doing, and that's not authenticity.
So what you just described, sadly, is the men of ill intent.
Yeah, it's an elite system. Yeah,
it's the men of ill intent and the rest of the world. So poor people are used to support based on need, and their need is now. So it's an instant gratification. That's why they're constantly buying those tickets.
Oh yeah, the festival tickets.
Scratch off
scratchy.
tickets.
Yeah, the lotto thing. Yeah, lottery.
Those. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So because they want instant gratification. So
Right.
there's a Schrodinger's cat thing going on. Maybe they won, maybe they lost, but they won't know until they scratch it off. So I watched a guy buy $50 worth of those things and then scratch off each one standing there. Wow. Okay.
But
then there's
instant, right?
the mid-tier people who are supporting the lower class with their taxes and supporting their higher class with all of the things that they're buying.
Mid-tier. Yeah.
So, I mean, same. And at the top, so those performers that you talk about aren't necessarily running the show. They're just the pretty models that hang out there for what could be.
Yeah, it's all hope-based.
Yeah.
There's no reality. It's
hope and fear.
Yeah, hope and
I
fear.
hope I'm like them, and I fear that I'm not.
Yeah. Now, if you ask them, are you copying a model, a strategy model? They are. That because it's revealed that this is mathematics. It is. They are. They don't know they are, and they're going to call it something else. They're going to say, "Yes, I'm authentic. I'm freely expressing myself, and I'm not controlled by other people. I am influenced by this artist. They are they influence me. They influence my music, and I can.
which
That's the
is
copy.
which is hands-off control.
Yeah.
They're controlling people through the influence based on who they put forth as a superstar.
Yes.
Same with the companies that are rising and falling. Same with the CEOs of these companies that are rising and falling. Like the whole thing is insane. I mean, just flat out insane. But here we are, still struggling.
Yeah.
Speaking of struggling, the property that we were looking at fell through. If y'all in the audience know of a place, please let us know. Contact me. I have the specifics. I know exactly what we are looking for. I know exactly what we can spend, how much I just need a property to move towards. So,
we were this close. We were this close. We had the finance. We had everything in place, and then we moved in, and then sorry, someone took it.
Okay. Talk about the wind in your sails being sucked out.
Right. Yeah. Well, it happened to me. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
And then I had to tell everybody. That was hard. Because I had to talk to our finance person, and I had to tell you, and
you have to tell everyone.
The first person that I told was Banku, and he's like, "Well, that's okay. We'll find a better one." And I'm like, I don't want to find a better one.
You know how much work went in the first one? He does.
Oh, he does. He does, because he listened to me bitch about it all the time.
And he was there looking at the place. So,
yeah, exactly. But recognizing that something else might be available. There's I thought it was 152 acres that was really close to us. It's not. It's 15.2, but nevertheless.
That's better.
I was like, okay, but there's nothing on it.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, but up against a major highway.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, not good. There's certain criteria that needs to go on this property. Banku has a lot of things that needs this, and it needs this, and it needs this. You can't just go buy random property. Here you go. That's not. You're going to spend 5 years trying to get that thing, if it even works, to where you need it. We don't have 5 years.
Right. There was a property the house was built in 1854, and I'm like, wow. Like, that's Civil War kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's fascinating to me. Is there a tunnel?
Yeah. Is there an underground?
Right? Was this a property that was used for that?
Right.
How can this house still be standing? And when you look at it, you're like, wow. They actually updated stuff. The property is awesome. It's also from the aerial view, you can't even see the top of the house because there's so many trees. But you can clearly see it from the driveway, like when you're looking at the property, and it's 20 acres. 20 acres of nothing but trees.
Right.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
That's not going to help. Yeah, it's hard to build biodomes to feed people when there's trees.
Right. We're just going to feed them walnuts.
And we don't want to cut down the trees, but at the same time, even if you did, you got to get rid of stumps, and there's leveling. There's all this other stuff you got to do. Yeah,
it's crazy. Why would we know? So if y'all know of any place, let me know. please.
We're gonna get a place.
Yes.
It has to happen.
Property needs to happen very soon. So, that being said, the people that I encounter while I'm looking at these properties, while I'm, talking to people, because I will randomly call somebody and, if there's like a big business down there, I will call and say, hey, what can you tell me about the area? I was thinking about moving there. And usually they're very nice and they, they'll chat me up for a couple minutes at least and, let me know what it is that they like about the area or what it is that they don't like about the area. And that helps a lot, right? But they don't know me from Adam. So, I'm this northerner. Are you kidding me? Like, we live in Illinois. This is not like
but then we met the woman who said that Illinois needs to be divided between a north and a south. You're like, what?
Oh, I didn't realize that it was so distinctively different.
I didn't either.
Well, Northerners think this way and we think this way, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, where are you from? The North, right?
Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I say Chicago because nobody knows Round Lake. I'm 15 minutes from Wisconsin. There you go.
There you go. On the border.
Yeah. Well, that's really north.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not freaking Canada, lady.
No, it takes 4 or 5 hours. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating the habits that you see and what's acceptable to you and what's not.
Yeah.
Like based on your own habits. Like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. Or no, absolutely not. This is horrible, awful. I'm never dealing with this again. Like there's so much in between. So our habits have to work together, and then their habits have to fit into our habits. Or, if one of us has our hackles up about something, then all of a sudden we're like, nope, this house is awful. We got to go.
Start over. Yeah.
Right. And then, when we were looking at these properties, having an open mind was the only way that I could get through it. You know what I mean? Being in my awarenesses, recognizing what could it look like, the kind of space that could be used, what it could be used for, and recognizing that none of that is mine.
No, none of it. Yeah. And I was doing the same thing. I'm looking, but with my knowledge, I'm like, of the knowledge that I have, I'm like, well, this would be good for this and this would be good. And Bonku's over there going, no, this has it. And I'm like, like he's looking at things like grades in the soil of like, 4%. And there's a slight roll hill here. Like the dirt and how much dirt. So like he's looking at things that I would never even consider thinking about. So I just I'm like, well, whatever he thinks.
And then, so the first place that we went to when we drove down there was, it had squishy floors.
Squishy floor. Yeah, the whole place, squishy floors.
That's all I can say about that place. But then we go outside and there's these chickens that are like, take us home, take us home, take us home.
Yeah.
And then there's this cow that's like, I'm busy. What do you want? And then when we still stood there, I'm standing there with Max, and I showed him the cow, and now the cow is starting to come towards us. And I'm like, yeah, we have to go now. This is, nope, we're leaving. Okay, bye. Meanwhile, yeah. And the people that deal with us, like, I know for a fact that if I don't
put personality
buffer.
up.
If I don't buffer
Yeah, there's yeah,
between, you know, so Bunku will start talking and he will explain things. And
yeah.
I see the look on their face. They have now glazed over, and Bunku is talking about this over here and this over
Right.
here. And they're like,
What world are you from? Yeah.
right. So then, I,
Right.
use plain penguin and talk to them. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's what you want. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's what remember, that's what I said. Wrote that in an email. Yep.
Right. It's very important you
Wow.
stick to these things over here,
Right.
or because you're just wasting your time.
And it's, you can see
Right.
because Banku doesn't have a habit for them to grab onto. It's not a pattern that they recognize. So they will
Right.
sometimes just stare blankly. Um,
But she was
sometimes
cool though
it's
because she adapted pretty quickly, and
so
that's what I
our
liked about her.
realtor is
Yeah.
amazing. The
Yeah.
people that live in the houses though, like
Oh no.
uh there were a couple of people that were very helpful in terms of, what's like, well, what's around here? Well, what are you looking for? Uh Grocery stores. Like
Yeah.
are we talking like Farm and Fleet, or are we talking, like Target?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like give us something like what's the condition of this area?
Hmm.
Uh but it's really cool to see how people's habits fit together in areas.
Yeah, because
Like,
yeah, it was because I noticed there's a lot of similarities of people in the entire area, and these are different cities in the area, but they're all close
yeah,
together. But no one knows. Like I don't know if they know each other. I doubt it. But you could this there was the same energy. But you could also tell when people showed up and they were new in the area too.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
So I started to look at that once we were down there. I was like, well, if that's the case down there, what's it like up here?
right.
Same, same.
Mm,
Like, because there's just habits that people do. Like, they have kids and they drive their kids to and from, and they pick their kids up from, over there, and they get to know the moms and they get to know the dads, and they work, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all kind of, and then on the weekends everybody parties.
yeah.
If I opened my windows, you would hear it. There's a lot of partying.
Gunshots and fireworks and all the.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is great. Yeah,
there's just a lot of, um, I don't want to say happy people, but they're not unhappy,
yeah.
you
They
know?
don't look unhappy, right?
Right. Like,
Yeah,
they're okay to live the same day over and over and over again.
right.
They like the routine of that. It feels safe to them
Yeah,
until, ice shows up, and then suddenly everybody's freaked out and hiding at home.
and then they get bored.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I watched an old movie the other day that depicted this. It was called Neighbors. It was Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, an '81 movie. And I hadn't seen it for forever, and I just saw it. But it was all about that. It was about this guy living the same day over and over and over. And he's so bored and doing this. Like he had that look on his face.
Yes.
And then Dan Aykroyd shows up with his woman. He's not even his wife. But yeah, and they just like destroy his world. And at the end, he's so in love with these people and so appreciative of these people. He hates these people, but they're like they're just turning his life upside down, and like they're doing things to him, and they're fighting like it's horror. There's horror at the end. He loves it so much that he wants to go with. They leave like, and it's all 20. It's the whole movie is in 24 hours. So like they move into a place. Oh, we're here, and this is the new neighbors, and then they disrupt his entire life, family, his entire life, and then at the end, at 24 hours, they've disrupted him so much. He burns his own house down to go join them and go on the road with them because he
Huh.
figured out that his life sucked and it was the same day every day, and now he has something that he's excited about, and he wants to go out and live life, and he's going to go out and join it with them. So his wife left him to go with some Indian dude because she wanted to study Indian something or other. His daughter, I don't know, did something, and then he's like left by himself, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to go with you," and he burns his house down. And so it's like it's basically what we're talking about, but no one actually does that. But it's an interesting look at how fast that can happen given the right circumstances.
So I thought about this. What
Yeah.
would happen if one person recognized that they were living the same day over and over and over again, but nobody else did?
Mm.
Groundhog's Day, right?
Yeah, there it is. Right.
So if you think about it, when you're in bond and you're learning about your habits and what that looks like, when you start to change your habits, you start to change your routine.
You do. Yeah.
Everyone else around you is still doing the same routine, but you look weird because you're no longer doing the same thing as them.
Yes, and they point that out to you.
Constantly. And I think it's because it makes them so uncomfortable because that's the only thing that they know. So if you're doing something different, how are you doing it? How is it? What do you know? And if you can't explain it, and oftentimes we can't, we don't really have the words for what's going on. But if that happens, then suddenly they're like, well, it's not real.
Oh, yeah, they just
because they can't conceive of it inside of their world.
So they do the generalization, delete, and the other thing, thing.
Yep.
And their filters, yeah.
Yep. They edit, they generalize, they delete. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. And then boom, they go back to normal in their own thinking filter structure. Yeah.
Right. And if you don't interact with them for a while, then the next time that they see you, you've completely changed because it's been increments for you. But when they don't see it, it's very big for them.
Oh, yeah. Night and day. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I've lived this. Yeah. Okay. And I keep getting told, well, why are you changing? I'm like, it's a problem. I'm like, this isn't a problem. This is actually good. Why is this good? There's nothing about this that's good. I'm like, for me, there's.
So think about what it was like before you started changing.
Yeah, well, before I started changing, I was the guy living every day the same.
Right.
Like in the movie,
and if somebody within your world that had changed, you wouldn't like it either because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit inside the routine that you have, not only for your day-to-day life, but for your habits.
Yeah. And then they're left with cognitive dissonance. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. How could making it easier for them to accept that we are changing come into play? And really, it's not our job.
No, but helps, I guess.
I think that all of the things that we've learned in hypnosis and the franchise and all of the things all the way along are the tools that we use to help them accept what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
But instead, we're like, no, I don't have to help you do anything. If you can't see it, that's on you. That's not on me. And I'm not going to help you. You can piss up a rope,
Right.
like Um, but I think that for those people that we want to keep in our lives, those are the tools that we can use to ease their suffering about us changing.
Yeah.
And in turn, help ourselves not suffer so much because by proxy, their suffering is now ours.
Well, because I do come like I know what you're saying, and it's like in the ways that I'm changing, the people I want to keep in my life who have a problem with how I'm changing, the changes that I am making don't necessarily match their lifestyle because they don't have a place for it yet. Yet is
Right.
the word.
Right.
Right. So, but they will. It's because I could see it coming. They will, and when they do, they're going to be very happy that it's in place.
Yes.
Because I keep telling people, I'm not doing this just for me. I'm not changing for me. Yes, I am, but I'm also changing for everyone else, the world. Which leads me to another story about this program that we're talking about right now. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they contacted me, and they said they just started out with, "I thought you were you were non-political because I people want to know what side I'm on, and I go, I'm not on any side. I don't care about politics." And they go, "Cool." And they said, "Well, I thought you said that." I said, "I did say that." Well, I just checked out your Karmic Woof thing over here, and you said that and these are earlier episodes. I was talking about how we're doing a podcast to save the world, one mind at a
Oh,
time,
right.
or something like that. They said, "Well, you said that." And I said, "Yeah, I did." I said, and they said, "Well, one only a person only says that they're trying to save the world from a political viewpoint. So therefore, you're a hypocrite." And you are political, and you're telling people that you're not to get them to listen to the show, when in fact that you are, because you can't save the world without politics. And I said, that is an interesting perspective. How do you
I
know that you
know.
can't change the world without politics? Have you watched all of our episodes? Do we talk about politics? I only watched a part of one episode. Well, how can you say that?
Oh,
And how can you tell us
well,
that we're political if we're trying to save the world? There are other ways to save the world other than politics. But that got me thinking that if that one person believes that, there's probably others that believe that too. So that's how everyone is so focused on politics nowadays. They can't conceive of doing anything in this world to make it a better place or not a better place without it, without politics.
what is fascinating is that this person watched half an episode
Oh, and probably even
of
20 minutes. Yeah.
of a podcast that
Right.
they know nothing about and
Right.
then took a big assumption and made that their whole view.
Yeah.
So the difference between looking through a straw and looking through a telescope, you see a
Right.
lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You are so far removed from what it is that's actually happening
Mhm.
in the telescopic view. It's so big that the details don't really matter at that point,
Yeah.
because you're moving things in such a way, your observer can do this, move things in such a way that it shifts on a global scale, on a big scale. Now, being in your observer is the thing that you carry through. That is who you really are. But looking through the straw and then saying that's the whole world,
Yeah.
well, okay. And that's how we end up with two absolute truths.
Yeah. Because they believe that.
They really do. And
And I can't
they
change their
really
mind. Right.
can't get past it until somebody shows them how to look at things differently. Using all of our tools, we can do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did this the other day. So, okay, so we're talking about socialism here. I was talking
Oh,
about
right.
someone who's close to me who believes in socialism so much that it's a huge part of their life and what they do and why they do it and so on and so forth. So we're having a conversation, and I said, so okay, and they're defending socialism, and I don't care. Like, I don't like it, but it's like, well, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But they're like, well, so going on socialism and the whole Trump thing, and they like they're just going venting. And I said, so you're and this person's a musician, right? Well-known musician. I said, so okay, so you're a socialist, right? Yes. You want the world to be socialist, a socialist, everything socialism, because that's what they care about is quality. That's it's not socialism. What they want is quality, because that's the trendy word. Everyone should be equal. So guys, that's what you want. And you define equality through socialism, right? Yes. All right. So you don't care about copyrights. You don't care about royalties. You don't care about um, any of these things that streaming this, making your own music, freedom of express. You don't care about any of these things. Well, yeah, of course I do. So, well, then
That's not socialism.
that's not socialism, because capitalism involves, here's the key, um, uh, right, it includes your rights, copyrights, and like, do you like to own property? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I own property. Do you like owning your own property? Yes, I do. So then you're not a socialist. So why would you want socialist? Because capitalism involves ownership of property rights. Outside of capitalism and socialism, there is no property rights. That includes intellectual property, by the way. You don't own your own music. You can't make money
Right.
off your own music. You can't even control what music you make or want to make or whatever. Like, none of these things that you say you're for, actually, like, if this was the world that you lived in, you would not be doing what you're doing. You would be told by the state what music to write, why to write it, how to write it. And if you didn't do it and tried to buck the system, they either got rid of you, censored you, or did some other things. You would not own any rights to your own music. So you couldn't make royalties. You can't do any of these things that you do. So your entire existence is based on capitalism, and it would cease to exist. Well, I didn't think about that.
There's a hierarchy of people,
Right.
right? So there's people that make millions, and then there's people that make thousands, and then there's people that make hundreds, right? So the people that make millions don't want to hang out with the people that make hundreds, because then the people that make millions would constantly be having to pay for the people that make hundreds.
Right.
They don't want that either.
I don't want that. Yeah.
Because, and I understand this from that perspective, they don't want to get it on them.
They don't. Right.
They don't want the mindset of the people that make hundreds to rub off on the people that make millions, because that is possible. You start hanging out with somebody that, constantly can't afford, and suddenly you can't afford either.
This is true. Yeah. In
I
game
get
theory,
that.
that is absolutely true. Yeah. Yeah. That is called the Nash equilibrium. That's what that's called. Yeah.
Okay. So when I look at this, there's no way that people that like socialism understand what it is that they're saying they want. Denmark is a prime example of equality for everybody. Your
Yes.
body is yours. You have the right to say what happens to it. Okay, well, in Denmark, you don't.
You don't know.
There are, and I'm pretty sure it's Denmark. Somebody tell me if it's not. There are no Down syndrome kids there, because all pregnant women are tested. And if you have that kind of baby, then it's aborted. And there is no question. You cannot have that baby there. You can't live there with that kind of baby there. And you can't. They won't let you.
Right.
Does that sound like equality? Does that sound like you get to make your own decisions? No, absolutely not.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to keep my rights in capitalism so that I can make my own decisions. Thanks a bunch.
They don't consider that property rights includes intellectual property rights. These people, so you got
Absolutely.
these actors and singer, all these people in the entertainment world, they all make a living off intellectual property. That doesn't exist in
Writers,
writers. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You wouldn't have
uh,
any of this.
people that make apps, programmers.
Yep.
That's all intellectual property.
Yeah.
Nope, not yours.
Not yours. The state owns it. They tell you what to do with it. And in fact, they tell you what to do and what not to do. You don't have
Yeah.
creative control on what you get to do.
I found that a lot of people that uh, love the idea of socialism, of sharing,
Yeah.
are willing to share to a certain point.
Right.
And then they're like, no, I don't want to share that much. I already shared. Why do I need to share more? Well,
Right.
because you're the one that said that everybody should have the same.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they do.
either you teach these people how to do what you did to get where you are, or you give up what you have to make everybody equal without doing that. So either you help them rise or you lower yourself. Either way, everybody's equal.
Right. Unless the person watching the program sees this and says, "See, you're being political." No, I'm not. This communism, socialism, and capitalism is an economic system, not a political system. So there you go.
So, okay. So that leads right into, if you use money, if
Right.
you use potatoes, if you use shoes as currency, it does not matter. It's all the same. It's what we call the value. That's it.
Yeah.
So if we say 1,000 shoes is the price of a loaf of bread, then that's what it is.
Yep.
Well, some people get their shoes from Walmart, and some people have handmade shoes.
Yes.
Which ones, the $10,000 loafers that people walk around in, they might be a little more, they might be worth a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's all the same. They're shoes.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. If you want true equality, where everything has to be equal, you are missing equanimity.
Yes.
Where the value of something is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Not the thing.
Not the thing. Yeah, the thing is just the thing, but the value is.
But inequality
is
the thing that is right.
That's what's important to humans, is value.
And well, that's important to gods. That's important to everybody.
Right.
Value, right? So when you make a contract with a demon and the demon says, "This is your life," or, a life for a life. Well, they don't specify which life.
Yes.
It's the life that is most important to you, whether that's yours or someone else's. It's still a life.
Right.
It's the value of that life that holds the most.
Yeah. Because to the other person who's making the contract, if you have a favorite pair of shoes or a favorite person, that's more valuable to you than, say, my garden shoes with 5 holes in it.
Right.
Right. So of course they're going to want what you think is the best.
Exactly.
Right.
That's equanimity, where the value of something holds more importance than the thing.
Right.
Namtos is an incredible teacher when it comes to that. Explaining how the property that we are looking for is much more than the dollar amount that it costs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what can be done from that property is
Yeah.
much more
Huge.
valuable.
Right.
Uh, when I think about the people that have come and gone and said, I'm all in, I want to help and I'm there. And what do you need? And then backed out because their habits didn't align or because they didn't have the stamina, I guess. I Some people just have to take a break for a while. You know what I'm saying? But they'll do something crappy and then they'll leave. And then, a year later, they're like, oh, I want to come back. But why? What has changed? Well, I just
Yeah.
needed a break. But their habits didn't align with what it was that we were doing. And there's no reason why they can't come back, except their habits are keeping them from doing
That's true. But in order for them to get out, they had to create some sort of drama to allow themselves an escape. They had to talk themselves out of it, basically.
that. And that was their habit, right?
Right.
So some people just ghosted,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well,
Sure.
I'm gonna go. My habits don't align. It's cool, whatever.
Right.
Some people said, hey, I need a break. I'm gonna be over here. Maybe till next lifetime. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna be over here. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, and it's hard to change your habits. So, you know, it's not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I'm
Amen
not
to
telling
that.
anyone, I'm not saying anything that no one knows, doesn't know. I'm
Right.
recently finding out that it's not easy.
It is. It is. So this is what I keep telling myself, right? Uh, like when I'm playing the game on my phone with
Yeah.
the
Balls.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell myself that it's only as hard as I make it. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
something happens in life and I hear myself starting to repeat that. And I'm like, that's absolutely true. It's
Yeah.
only as hard as I make it. Looking for this property, it's only as hard as I make it. Okay, well, then I don't want it to be hard. I want it to be fun. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on some music. I'm going to get some
Easy. Yeah.
drinks over
It's
here.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have my favorite grapefruit drink.
Right.
So that's like my, okay, I'm going to look for property now. This is my treat while I do this.
Right.
But I set it up so that the conditions surrounding me looking for a property allow me to have an open mind and a body that doesn't feel like it's constantly in pain, so that when I do look, things are more clear and I can
Yeah.
say, oh, that definitely wouldn't work. Oh, that is absolutely a possibility. But also that allows for the energy to shift, and it doesn't, I don't constantly end up butting up against something that definitely won't work, because I'm in a mindset where I don't want to see it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it's already hard.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You don't want to see it. And it's usually the aversion, like the stuff you don't, that's not fun. I don't want to do that. It's usually that
Right.
kind of thing that makes it difficult because it's like,
Right.
I just did this. I don't want to do it again. I didn't enjoy it
But
the
if
first
I,
time.
right. But if I make it fun, if I
Right.
set the conditions so that I can, look around and not feel like
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time,
Right.
then as things open up and all of a sudden, boom, there it is.
Mm.
I also know that pictures lie.
We learned that. Yeah. Pictures are absolutely lying. All of them.
Oh, and here's the funny, just a quick side note, the place that we looked at with the squishy floors,
Yeah.
somehow I ended up looking at those pictures again and realized that the pictures that are on the internet are from before the people that own it now bought it.
Really?
Yep.
It's way
Which
back.
is why
Okay.
I was so surprised when I walked in and was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I've never seen this house before, but I have. Like, that
Those are
was,
old. How did
yeah.
yeah, okay, that's weird. How
Well,
long did
would
they
you
live
want to
there?
take pictures? Would you want to take pictures of that house?
No. Like you have to we learned this pretty quick and good thing we did, but you can't just say on the internet, "Oh, this house looks good. I'll just buy it from here." Oh, don't do that.
No, no, that's a bad idea. Also, there are a lot of properties with heads on the wall.
Heads. Lots of heads.
Lots of death surrounding this house.
It
There
the
was
town
one.
too. Yeah.
There was one that was like one room.
Yeah.
So it was like a living room area and an open dining room. And then it went into the kitchen area and it was all kind of open. There were 15 heads just in that
That
area.
that area. All right.
That didn't
Why?
count. That didn't count for the bedrooms or
No.
the rest of the kitchen. Or
Here, buy my house with all these dead things on my walls. So that like these are trophies.
right?
You
A
collect
lot of
dead
rehabbing
things?
to be done. You need to drop that price about 100 grand.
Right. I mean, are you like Rambo? You collect like ears and put it around as a necklace? And you want me to buy this? I think you should deduct 100,000 off the property because and take this stuff with you. You've just
Yeah,
destroyed the energy of this place. We got to fix
right.
this. See?
Right.
Right.
I did ask the realtor about that though. She's like, "Well, people are hunters. They're proud of what they do." And I'm like, "Well, that's cool, but what about the person that's buying that after them? Do
Yeah.
they?" She said most people down here are not offended by that. I'm like, "Well, I'm not offended by it. I just would like to see the wall without something else on it."
Yeah, and I just don't understand why people collect things that are dead. Hanging on my wall.
It's just,
Sounds filthy to me. But okay, I'm not offended by it. I just don't understand.
it's just gross.
I won't do it, but okay.
No.
So yeah, these are habits that people have.
And and those habits have to fit in with our habits, like
Right, right, right.
how much POA do we have to do?
In this play, yeah.
This is, yeah, like some of these places they're, okay.
Not only that, but then like all the animals are scared to come on the land. I like the animals. Like
Yeah,
they can sense this
I'm,
stuff. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I don't really
Not all
want
the
them
animals.
living too close. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on the animal, right? Deer, I'm cool. I'm cool with deer. They eat everything though.
They
Uh,
do.
so you got to keep. Well, we have biodome, so we're not gonna get in there.
You hope. Can you imagine?
But yeah, paradise. It's like, oh,
Be one
deer heaven.
that would be one dead deer.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but you have to move on.
that's an instance where you take the head and put it on a stake outside to warn other deer. This is what
Yeah.
happens when you. Yeah,
Yep.
they wouldn't get it, but
Uh, how? And then there's, of course, the trash panda.
oh yes, raccoons.
Yeah, can't. Nope,
Yeah,
can't do it.
and they do other things too that aren't cool, especially around here, because they play tricks on you. Like they're actually very coordinated on playing tricks on people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the tricks aren't very fun.
Oh no.
Like my neighbor has problems with I've never had a problem with it. My neighbors like every day they're like haunting him. He tells me this. These things are taunting me daily. I'm getting tired of it. Like it's like they'll like figure out where to go to the bathroom and they'll like go right they figure out where he walks and then they go in his path and go to the bathroom and he steps in it. And then like he'll change his path and they'll figure that out and do the same thing over. It's like they're
So
watching them and then
it,
yeah.
they probably are. It
Yeah.
sounds like they have past life karma.
No, that's true. Yeah. I'm like, why are they picking it? Like I don't see them here. I've seen foxes. They don't do anything. But raccoons, like he's like
Yeah.
literally he's directly across the street from me. Like the guy has raccoons everywhere, problems and problem. Every time I talk for years, he talks about the raccoons and what they're doing to him today. And I'm like, I have never seen one.
That's because they're all over there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like you're only like, 60 feet away from me,
Oh, yeah, that is
like across the street. Yeah. It's
that
weird.
that's yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
You can see it in real time how it's playing out, you know?
Right. And like, I don't ask anyone else, but for him, raccoons are like the worst thing in the world. But he is he is also one of these guys that shoots animals and puts it on his wall because I've been in his house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's a karma collecting thing, right? Interesting.
Yeah, that is possible. I mean, life uh past lives have a way of catching up with you
Right.
based on all of the habits that you carried through, you know?
Right. Interesting. Yeah. See, that's how habits affect people. They
And
take them
the
into the next
people
life with you.
yeah, absolutely. And the people around you and how like that's how a whole group of people can actually know each other for several lifetimes like that, you know? Like that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
They kind of all migrate together,
Yeah. They just they're trying to migrate out, but the world isn't
right?
cooperating.
I
But I
don't
always
I
tell
don't
myself
really
too.
want to.
No, I always tell myself too. So this is the thing. Like one of these words I have to like change my language. Is I always. Why does everything have to be so hard? You see,
Right? And then
it keeps it
so
going, keeps it going, and keeps it going. Right?
and then it gets harder.
Yeah,
And you look around and you're like, well, they're not struggling. Why aren't they struggling?
yeah,
You know, they should have to go through Peno the same way everybody else does. Well, they are,
yeah.
but they have a different mindset. So
Hmm.
maybe they only have car troubles and they just can't get anywhere physically, but they don't have money problems because they work from home.
Right,
Like no issues there. Okay,
right,
paycheck comes in, it's all good, but I can't get to the store because
right,
my car never works. Like
right,
that's just their habit. And it's only hard around those things.
right.
It's pretty it's pretty cool like that.
So we are out of time.
We are out of time. All right.
So yeah, if you would like to contact us, we would like you to contact us and let us know what you'd like to hear about because we could talk about what you'd like to hear about instead of you having to listen to what we want to talk about. Maybe you like what we talk about. I hope you do. Maybe you don't like what we talk about. If you don't like what we talk about, let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll talk about those things. So, but you have to contact us. We
Except for
happen to have a
politics. We just don't care.
yeah, we don't. Yeah, and we mean it. We don't care. I mean, yeah, we talk about socialism. That's not politics. That's economics. But we don't even really talk about that much either. So, uh,
No,
we talk about
it was just
habits.
because
That's what we
somebody
talk
brought it up. Yeah.
about. Right. But if you have a habit, we'll talk about it. If you know other habits, maybe you don't have a habit. Maybe you know other people have habits. We'll talk about it. We like to talk about habits because
Yeah.
you can change. You can change those.
And if you know of a property, message us,
Yes. And
please.
all of our
And we'll
information is in the description. Please contact us. Let us know. We want it. We're going to get property somehow, some way. We're going to get property, and that's
we'll
just the way
make
it's
it
going to
work.
be. But if we need help. So if you can help us find this property, it'd be great. Or we don't even have to. You don't even have to help us find the property. If you know of property, let us do it because
Yeah.
Bonku does have criteria for property.
Yep.
But if you tell us anyway, we can check it out. So, or
Absolutely.
recollect correctly, she'll check it out because she knows how to do all that.
Yeah.
And I'll be there for moral support. Yeah, yeah. Look at the dead animals on the wall. Yeah, kind of stuff. Look at those crappy floors. Yeah, I'm so positive. So, with that said, let me be positive. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you again next week. And thank you for joining us on Karmic Woof.
Thank you. Thank you. See
Thank
ya.
you.